Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my monthly reset for the month of May. So saying goodbye to April and saying hello to May. This video is sort of inspired by Carter Sullivan, who is the first person I saw making these sort of monthly reset videos, and I know there's a couple of other people in the sort of lifestyle space that do make them. So basically doing a recap review of April, everything that I sort of achieved, and you know, maybe some things that did go well or didn't go well. And then looking forward to May, so doing some monthly planning for the month in terms of any key dates that I have coming up, any big projects, and also looking at what my goals are going to be for the month of May, and typically some sort of financial review as well, or some review of my social media perhaps, and what went down there. Firstly, in terms of the month of April, to do a little recap, there was definitely some highs and lows. I think for me, April just started off on a bit of a low. I had just come back from New York. I had just finished the first sort of 12-week period of the year, and I'd gone through a lot. That was like a big sort of culmination of all of these goals that I was working on, and I honestly got a lot done in that time. And I did a video which was sort of recapping the first 12 weeks and then, you know, talking about what my goals would be for the next 12 weeks. And after I posted that video, I honestly just went into like a complete come down of everything. I think it was just the working really hard to get all of that completed, and then just feeling like, oh, okay, that's all done, and now I have to go and do other things. And I think that is sort of a common sort of pitfall of goals and short-term goals, is that you can get to the end of something and then be like feeling quite overwhelmed, the fact that we have to then get started all over again. And I think April was definitely a lower month for me in the first half in that way. I think I just didn't really feel inspired or sort of like I had a clear sense of what was coming next. And because I was going pretty much straight into another holiday, you know, 2 weeks after, I had lots of people ask me like, was I excited? Was I looking forward to it? And honestly, I just had no level of like excitement about anything, and that's not great. So don't worry, things did turn around, but that is definitely how I started off the month. Which was not great, and in all, April ended up being a really good month, but we're going to be doing better this month and planning a bit more appropriately, which will help, and just sort of, I think, trying to sprinkle in some things that'll just make the joy of the month come a bit sooner. So what did go well in April, I think the holiday that I went on to Italy was honestly, and I hate this phrase, but I think I'm going to be using it a lot in the next while, it was life-giving, I would say. It gave me life, I think. It was so good, and I did a little vlog. I think it's not most people's taste, but I just had the best time on that trip. I think it was very action-packed in terms of all of the things we managed to fit into a couple of days, but honestly, it was so good, and it really just reminded me of the fact that I love traveling. And because obviously you've been in the pandemic for the past couple of years, this trip was meant to happen in March of 2020, and so we finally got to go on it on April 2022. And so it was a long way coming, and I think I was a bit apprehensive that it wasn't going to be as good as we had sort of, you know, been building it up for. And I'd been to Italy before, but it's just, anyways, before all of that, like, I think one of the things I was really excited about with the PhD was the opportunity to travel. And so far I haven't been able to do that at all, and I still probably won't until about September of fourth year, so the first month of my fourth year, and I probably will get to go away a good bit in fourth year. But it definitely was something I was excited about in terms of the sort of academic career in general, and I think I haven't been able to experience that yet, and this just gave me a taste of what it would be like, because there was a lot of days where we were on sort of longer trips, and I would be sitting on the bus just feeling so inspired about my PhD work and like writing papers on my iPad. And I basically wrote a good first draft of a paper and a sort of half, or at least an introduction of a second paper while I was away, and meant when I came back, I literally just went straight back into work, no issues, and was able to figure out a lot of the sort of programming stuff as well by just like writing out some like algorithms and stuff. And it just really made me so excited about my work, and I think that was like a big sort of eye-opener for me, that is something that I really value, and it's something that I don't think about enough, you know, my values and that kind of thing. But anyways, so that's just sort of something that really, I think, woke me up and really had me thinking about the future and, you know, things that I enjoy and like how important it is to just do things that you enjoy. So I think that definitely sort of made me understand that my intention, my focus for May will be on doing things that make you happy and trying to figure out how to be a bit happier, trying to figure out how to incorporate happiness into my life properly and build a sort of intentional happy life around my PhD work as well. And sort of definitely with May being Mental Health Month, I want to do a lot of videos that are sort of focused on mental health awareness as a PhD student and all of that, basically trying to stay on top of mental health and still be happy in graduate school, or I suppose any stage of life really, but I think definitely with a focus for PhD students. So I think that was the sort of low point and the high points of the month. Just a couple of other highlights. I think I did get to see a couple of my friends and had some really nice like one-to-ones with a couple of my friends over meals and hikes and really nice days like that, which was also very life-giving. And it was Jack's birthday as well, and we went to this restaurant in Dublin called Fire, which was just unreal. And I think that was definitely just a highlight, even though it was his birthday, but he enjoyed it as well. But it was really good. So I think overall the month ended up being good in that way. It just took a little while to get there, and I definitely had a couple of moments of like quite bad anxiety this month. So it was just a very like up and down kind of month. And then just in terms of some general favorites this month, my purchases that I made in New York, I won't go through them, but every single one has been a solid favorite this month. I've just really enjoyed them because I don't really make purchases very frequently, like of actual things or clothes or anything. So when I do, they're good ones. I watched The Dropout on Disney Plus, really enjoyed. Randomly I watched The D'Amelio Family on Disney Plus as well, which is sort of like Keeping Up with the Kardashians but like not. And it's honestly just a very sad watch, I think, because it just shows like how difficult it is being on social media at such a young age, and like the type of just like abuse and like lack of privacy they get is just really sad. And I've also been watching the new season of Kardashians, like the new show they have on Disney Plus. So all around it's been a pretty Disney Plus kind of month. We've been watching actually the Great British Bake Off Celebrity in Stand Up for Cancer and really been enjoying that. It's not something I've actually ever watched before, but just really enjoying it. It's nice to watch something that has that sort of creative element. I've been listening to a podcast recently called Girls That Invest. They're these two girls from New Zealand who talk about investing, and I just really love the podcast. It's been really sort of inspirational for me starting my investing journey, hopefully coming soon to a theatre near you. And I'm gonna say that's it in terms of favourites this month. In terms of PhD work, today on Sunday I'm submitting a paper, and I'm also working on another one which is very unlikely to be done by the deadline, which is on Wednesday, but I figured I might as well give it a good go. Fingers crossed. I'm gonna try and take you through this next week in a vlog because it's going to be insane. Honestly, it's gonna be a crazy week. But that was the main thing that I worked on this month in terms of PhD work. It was also a time where we're like wrapping up a lot of classes, and so this all work that I would have liked to be done by this week is all sort of spilling over into next week. And then after that, basically there's a big point of we're done. There's no more sort of class work, there's no more deadlines for a little while, and that's going to be really nice. In terms of the business then, I basically, because I was focused on my PhD specifically this month, I sort of had to just leave a lot of things, and I would have liked to spend more time working on the summer coursework ahead of the summer, but that's going to have to be pushed forward to next month. We did have the auction of our founders' personal items, and that went really well, and I think we're really happy with that. There's some movement starting to happen with the trust that's sort of surrounding and, you know, supposed to be there to support the school, so that could be something that's coming up soon. And I also did a talk which was for National Poetry Day, which is just this Thursday, on Shakespearean sonnets. And it's just one of those things where it's really enjoyable. I found I was definitely quite stressed because it was fine doing it because I've done the talk before, but we didn't have much time to sort of promote it, and just because it was the first in-person thing I've had to do in a really long time, it was definitely a bit nerve-wracking, but it went really well, I think, and I definitely would like to do more things like that as well. And again, this just has me really excited for the next phase of the drama school and what my role will be, I think, which will be more on the sort of higher level expansion, like creative director stuff, not on the ground level management stuff, which I really don't enjoy. And for this next month, I think this is when I'm going to be starting to do my online courses, creating those, and I've just been looking forward to doing those for over a year now. I was hoping to do them last summer when I was doing my internship, but honestly I came out of my internship every single week so exhausted that I didn't get to do it, and then it was straight into September and there's just been no good time. I think this is going to be the time now this month where I get to do that, and it's going to be so much fun. So it's something that I've just been putting off because there's just been so much stuff that we have to do, and it's one of those things where it's on the sort of the someday list. So once everything else is okay, I can do that, and it's finally getting to that point where everything else kind of is okay and I'll be able to do that. It might be the following month in June and that's fine, but it's definitely coming and I'm excited about that. Then in terms of my brand, to give a bit of an overview, so in terms of my YouTube analytics, we'll just take a quick look at how this month went. This was definitely a lower post month and I think I just have to deal with that. So, okay, I posted 3 videos in April, and in terms of the views, it was about 30,000 views, which is a little bit lower than it had been, sort of closer to 40,000 the last couple of months. And in terms of watch time, it was about 2,500 hours when it had been sort of 3,000. Subscribers are definitely down at around 573, which is the lowest it's been in a really long time. And then also earnings, it was about €235 from ads, and that's not super low. It had been closer to sort of 285, 300 from ads. I really don't make a lot of money from ads. It'd be more the other income that I make money from. I didn't do any sponsored videos in April, I think, because I'd done 2 in March and that was quite a lot. I felt like I just didn't want to handle the stress of it. I think I do want to start doing that again now for this month because obviously it's a key part of my income, but also I think it's good to work with different companies. I think it has been really beneficial for me, I think, and I do enjoy doing them. It's just I definitely didn't have the headspace for it last month, but I want to get into that habit of just having like a steady sponsor per month, and I think starting to do more Instagram sponsors because in a way they take up less time, and because I post a lot more frequently on Instagram, I feel like they don't really disrupt the feed that much, whereas because I'm posting less frequently on YouTube, I think if I have too many sponsorships it would get in the way basically. And then in terms of Instagram content, again, I didn't post much, and I do definitely want to have that as a goal for this month. So I'm just going to now spend some time writing out my goals. So I typically do this on my iPad, so I just sort of split them up into different categories. So because I do 12-week goals, I usually don't do monthly goals, but I didn't really set myself up super well with the 12-week goals this time, so I'm going to be doing monthly goals and just sort of monthly focuses, I guess. And these things can change, that's fine, but this is what I'll do, and then I'm going to put them into my Notion afterwards. So here are my goals for the month. So first of all, for PhD, getting this paper for this conference done, that's sort of a tough one because it's really hard to know. It's going to be in the next couple of days and I could just like straight up be setting myself up for failure early on in the month. I also have wrap up all of the classes, so that's just going to be nice to take that off, even though like it's something that I have to do. It's not really a goal. And then also return to this paper we've been working on for forever, which is a journal paper, and it just got pushed because of the conference deadlines. They obviously sort of took precedence because they have a deadline. So getting back to that and just finishing that, just want to be done with that 100%. So that's pretty much it for the PhD. I may end up, obviously I'll probably end up doing more because some of these things will just sort of happen or they won't, and then I'll need to be doing other things. In terms of my finances, I want to do a money reset this month. I won't be doing financial stuff in this video because I have no idea what the fuck is going on with my money. I don't know what's going on. Basically, because I spent like all of my wants money that I'd saved up for the holidays and for Jack's birthday and my brother's birthday, my dad's birthday, all of this stuff. And my money is just a mess. So I need to do a money reset. And I also want to finally start investing this month. I've been listening to a podcast that's been helping me sort of figure this out. And yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm here for it. I want to do it this month. In terms of business goals, so with the drama school, we have to finish up the end of term. So that's just one big project that we'll need to do. Promoting the summer courses, starting to film the online classes, which I'm so excited about. And yeah, I just honestly am buzzing about that. I cannot wait. That's the thing, I've just been so excited for such a long time, just not been able to do it. Doing also a financial reset for that because it's a little bit of a mess too. On the brand side of things then, I want to do 5 posts a week on Instagram. I want to do a Notion update because there was one sort of thing that I needed to fix and I just want to update people about it. And I also made a new sort of simple thesis template based on this coaching session that I did, and I want to just have that as a standalone template for anyone who wants a simple one, but then I need to also add it to the other template that people have paid more for so that everyone just has access to that basically. I want to get one sponsor for this month, at least on YouTube, maybe a couple more on Instagram. I want to post 2 videos a week on YouTube, and I want to do 2 evergreen videos. So this is actually something I saw on Michelle Reed's monthly reset, which I thought was a good idea because I just sort of haven't been like thinking about my content in terms of things that will get views. I've just been sort of making the videos that I think will be easy to make at the time and just sort of going with the flow, and I haven't really been thinking very strategically about my YouTube videos. And then also on Instagram, I want to do daily Instagram schedules on my story. On the personal side of things, I have a whole list of stuff I want to do this month for mental health purposes and just being more mentally healthy. So that's just a really long list, but also on top of that, we have some decluttering to do. We need to sort out this home office area, and then I also want to try and get to Galway to see my dad this month. Then on the health side of things, again, that sort of ties into the mental health stuff, but on that, basically, I just want to be doing the things that will make me feel good, which is exercising every day, and then also doing sort of like a low anxiety diet, or food plan, I should say. It's not going to be like restrictive or anything, but it's more to try and reduce things that could cause you to feel more anxious and promote things that should make me feel less anxious. Those are some of the things in terms of goals. In terms of monthly planning then, what I usually do is throughout the year I will update this page on my Notion called My Year at a Glance, which will just be all of the sort of key dates that like comes from other times of the year, because I find putting them in a proper calendar, I just don't see them. Whereas this I can look at frequently and just look at what's coming up next month. So this first week, tomorrow, so Monday is a bank holiday, which means it's technically a day off. On Tuesday is the date of the submission, but it's technically the day after at 1 o'clock because of the Anywhere on Earth time. Whether we get that done or not, who friggin' knows. On the Friday of that week then, it's the final day of presentations for a class that I'm working on with my supervisor. I also have a lot of grading to do for 2 other classes that I've worked on this term, and I just need to get that sorted basically the Wednesday, Thursday of next week. After that, so after this week on Friday, I don't have any key dates until May 30th, which is huge for me because if we look at March, I had basically a key date every single day. So I will have a full 3 full weeks and even an extra 2 days where I don't have a key date. There's nothing in my schedule, nothing. Now, I will have, you know, weekly counselling sessions. I'll have every second week a meeting with my supervisors, and I have like my classes as well, my drama classes. So it's not like my schedule is gonna be empty or anything, but in terms of just stuff coming up, like big things, there's nothing. And I am so excited about that. Like, I actually cannot explain how excited I am about that. That's just gonna be great. So I'm so excited, like putting this information into my calendar now, which is what I typically do. This is something that I've just added to my own Notion. I basically just don't like using the actual Notion calendar, which I have in the sort of original template. So basically I just update this like block of key dates every month, and I just change over the dates manually. So I think that might sort of be it for this reset video. As I said, I won't be doing finances today, just I don't have the capacity for it, but it is one of my sort of mental health activities to sort out my finances, because it is something that, you know, could be causing stress, not knowing where your money is going and all of that. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do on a different video. That's pretty much it. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks to all of my wonderful members as always. You really make it possible for me to make these videos, and I will see you all in the next video.